Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Jay with JCS Reefing, and I'm just coming back and kind of doing a open box of a little upgrade that I got going on for my 100-gallon tank. As you can see right here, obviously it's a Marine Depot custom, one of their custom trigger sumps that they sell on their website. And first opening the box, looking at it, is pretty much top-notch quality. From what I can tell, and from initial opening of the box. Now I do currently own a Trigger 26 sump, so I did expect the same type of build quality from Trigger, and I'm not disappointed, not at all. Now once I kind of just did a quick look over the box, make sure nothing was messed up or broken or anything like that, it was time to get this bad boy out of the box and take a closer look. Now once I got this out of the box, everything looks real good, and I pretty much went with this sump because the layout was really something that I was looking for. It pretty much has all the the checklist that I kind of wanted for the new style of sump. And as you can see here, the Trigger does bevel all the edges, and they didn't disappoint with that on this one either. So they did do that, which is nice because it's just not sharp when you go in there and try to clean and get your arms in there and whatnot. Now going back to the layout of the sump, I went with this one simply because it worked for me. The current Trigger 26 sump that I have now, you have the your initial drain in the back, which then overflows into filter sock, and then your skimmer actually sits pretty much in the section that you're looking at right here, rather than having a filter sock. So this one, they moved the filter sock from the back to the front, which was just kind of a pain on the one that I have now. Getting your hand around the skimmer and getting to the filter pad or the filter socks, pulling them out, and then dripping water, and it just wasn't a great design that worked for my setup. And what you're seeing here is just pretty much the parts that come. These are the dosing lines, which are a nice addition to what I have now, which are all, I believe, John Guest fittings, so that's really nice. Now looking a little closer at some of the detail, all your shelving, they actually did, I'm sure they probably used a CNC machine or something and cut their name out into the sump. So that's, kind of a gimmicky feature, but it's actually really pretty cool when you look at it. Looking at the overflow section before it goes into the return section, you're able to put two shelves, and then basically on the bottom where you see those white hooks, which is also another little added feature that I currently don't have in my Trigger 26, is a spot for basically my heater. Right now my heater just kind of sits in the return section. This way I can actually take my heater, rest it right in that those white clips right there. So I really think that that's kind of a cool and good added feature. Now moving on to this section, you can use this for two different things. You can use it for an ATO section, which is pretty good, but for my way that I'm going to be running this sump, this is actually going to be where I'm going to put my Miracle Mud and some Rubble Rock and probably a little Refugium, and this is going to be another drain actually. So my tank right now runs a main drain with an emergency drain. So this sump, unlike the one that I'm currently running now, has three drains, or three holes for a drain. Looking at the back, you can see that they also did basically make the back of the sump smoked, which is pretty nice because then no light will leak out, and one more upgrade that I currently don't have on my sump that I'm running. Right here is actually a pretty cool little feature. It's for cord management. Basically all your cords or your probe cords and anything else you want to put in there, I guess. will get, you know, put in between those little hooks, which kind of keeps your cords all nice and organized. So the way I'm going to be running this is I'm going to take my main drain and I'm going to be splitting it into two. Basically the main drain is going to start, you know, and go over the filter sock, and then a part of it will be coming and draining into here, which will then overflow into this cylinder, which is kind of nice so it doesn't stir up any sand or any sediment that's at the bottom, like miracle mud that I'm going to be putting in there. Now looking right here, it's just a quick you know, demonstration of, you know, basically how to put this thing together and how simple it actually is. And you know, pretty much out of the box it's assembled for you, which most sumps, you know, are. So the bulkheads are real simple. Just screw in the, you know, the top into the bottom. The filter sock, you just toss it in there. You have the grate for your filter floss if you want to use that to kind of, you know, catch some of the bigger particles and whatnot. And then you have your foam and your pad for the overflow as well. And you just pop the lid back on and you're good. Like I said, these are the shelves. And then the last but not least, you can add in all your John Guest fittings for your dosing lines, which is, you know, a pretty nice feature. Right now I just have the lines going through a hole and, you know, they pretty much stay there. But this is actually nice. You can actually take your tubing and click it, you know, right in to the John Guest fitting. So I mean, all in all, this is really simple to assemble. It takes pretty much 5 minutes at the most. And I'm just really excited to try to get this on my tank. Right now I only have one drain in my sump, and my emergency drain just kind of runs, you know, over and dumps into the tank. So this way I can put my main drain and my emergency drain into that first chamber, and then I'm going to split my main drain between the first chamber and the refugium. So that's going to be a really cool and added feature and something that I really like. And looking closer at this little cylinder here, this is a really good design that they came up with, so you're not stirring up any sand or anything. You know, your water will come down the drain, go into the cylinder, and then kind of overflow, so it doesn't hit that sand with any impact and cause the sand or miracle mud or whatever you want to put in the bottom to stir up if you decide to use that section as a refugium. So right here, it's just, you know, one last look at some of the detail in the sump that they put in, and it's you know, it's a really good thought process of what they did. They really thought of many different things that some of your standard trigger sumps don't have. And for this size, I mean, this is only a 30-inch sump. I think it's 30 by 15 by 15. But I think for my tank, it's going to do really well, and it's going to be a sweet little upgrade. And I'm looking forward to getting it on to the tank. So look forward for a new video once I start doing that and swapping out the sumps. And thanks for watching. And y'all, happy reefing. Cheers.